This is the Amp Hour Podcast, recorded January 16th, 2012. Episode 78, Alteritous, Andes, Absquatulation.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Chris Gamble's Analog Life.
Hey Chris, we started a bit late today.
Yeah, a little bit late.
We're both busy.
Yeah, man. Everything. It seems like they just keep piling on. All these projects I want to work on and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
You went on a field trip today. Are you allowed to talk about that? Anything exciting?
Yeah, so we had the day, I had the day off today, actually.
Oh, right, well.
Today's...
geez, you've only just started. You're slack-assing already.
Yeah, it was... No, well, it's actually a holiday here. It's Martin Luther King Day in the U.S.
Oh, right, okay.
So
Is that nationwide or is it state-based?
It's a national holiday, but it's. I'm not sure if it's a bank holiday. I think it's a bank holiday, but not every company gets it off. Like I didn't used to get it off. So
oh, okay, right.
I know like a lot of colleges are starting classes tomorrow. So
right.
So I had it off today, and that was a little different for me. But my friend, who is involved at the MC Squared STEM school here in Cleveland, so it's STEM, STEM and like science, technology,
science,
engineering,
technology.
math. Yeah, and so like there's this really great school here, and there's actually 4.5 FabLabs in Cleveland. And
4.5. Okay, do tell.
Yeah, so there's one at Lorain County Community College.
One's just abandoned and disused, is it?
No. So there's the one at the community college, but that's like an hour and 15 minutes away from me, so I don't want to go to that.
You have a fab at a community college.
Yeah, actually, that was one of the first ones. A FabLab, yeah.
Unbelievable.
But it's open to the public. It's great.
What?
Yeah, so anyone can go there. It's great. I love it.
Anyone want to go there and just like view through the glass, just peer through the glass, or?
No, you can go there, and if you take their intro class, like the hour long training at the beginning, you can go use their epilogue laser or their shop bot or anything like that. It's great.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. So I didn't
nothing like that here.
Oh, well, maybe you should get one. And this is all based off Neil Gershenfeld's idea. Actually, I'm reading that book right now, too, as luck would have it. It's a book called Fab.
Right.
But anyway, so that's one of the 4.5 here in Cleveland. The other 3.5 are, there's 3 at these STEM schools that are part of Cleveland Public Schools. And actually, I know the guy that runs all of them. And then the half is actually a mobile Fab Lab, so they call that a half Fab Lab because it's you can't fit a shop bot into a truck trailer kind of thing.
This gets more ridiculous. Now you're saying you've got fabs in schools?
Oh, I'm talking Fab Labs, right? These are like hacker spaces. These aren't like fabs.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh,
okay, that makes more sense now.
Okay, that's why I'm.
Okay.
Geez, absolutely astonished.
Right, that would be very.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be very expensive, especially a mobile chip fab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crikey. Okay, got it.
All right,
we're on
so
the
we're on the
same
same page
now.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, hackerspace. Right.
It's not a hackerspace though, because it's for schools.
Well,
it's for. Well, yeah, it's and there's like this. There's like this
it's
kit
a shop.
basically.
It's got
stuff.
stuff.
It's a shop. Yeah, it's a shop.
Yeah. All right.
And there's a kit that MIT, suggests all the different components. So all these Fab Labs have all the same pieces of gear, and so then they actually develop curriculum for different schools.
Right.
So yeah, that's where I was today. I was playing with the shop bot.
Hanging out.
I was playing with the shop bot and hanging out, and actually met some cool people. I might talk about them more later. But yeah, it was great. It was a great time. I'm very lucky to have known. I know that I know the people here. So
I missed out on the MakerFaire, the first Australian MakerFaire on the weekend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was in Melbourne, and circumstances meant I couldn't go. But
yeah, maybe in Sydney. When it comes to Sydney, maybe you'll be able to go.
Yeah, it'll come to Sydney. Rumour has it there might be another one this year in Melbourne.
Oh, great.
Again. So if it is, I'll be sure to actually make the effort.
Yeah.
So,
I saw the video. There was a video about that, right?
Yeah, Yeah, there was, and it looked quite good. I was actually surprised at the size and the depth of it, given that it was, the first Maker Faire, and it was organised in like 4 weeks or something.
Oh, wow.
It was.
That's great.
Yeah, amazing. I'd love to know like the actual numbers. How many people actually turned up and how many visitors, but it looked, pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. So I'm very impressed. Very excited that it'll take off. But it's no surprise that was in Melbourne instead of Sydney. Melbourne have more of a culture for that sort of stuff. They're more arty and cultural than Sydney, So I'm sure you've got cities like that where some cities are just more, vibrant and cultural and have events like that.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you could see the other Maker Faires that are around here. I mean, there's a lot more in the Bay Area than there are in Cleveland. I mean, there's one in Detroit. Detroit wouldn't necessarily. I mean, Detroit's on the upswing, I think, personally. But that was more, I think, based around the car museum there and the auto industry there.
Sure.
But like New York, Austin's where I used to live, great city. A lot of different cities that are artsy and have the right kind of situation for a mini Maker Faire. So that's great. Hopefully
Sydney will get one though. So
yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. But if not, I'll go to the next Melbourne one. Definitely.
Okay. Cool.
You're a ham apparently.
I am. I passed my exam. I think it was actually 2 weeks ago. It was right before.
Oh, okay. But we didn't mention on last week's show because we had our guest on. So
right, and that was wonderful. So thanks again to Howard if he's listening. And
yes, indeed.
If people haven't listened to it, I'd say probably one of our best episodes. Would you say? I mean,
I would say so too.
Yeah.
It's I've got to mention. I didn't tell you this, but I posted it on the Sci Electronics
I saw
news
that
group.
actually.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and of course there's a few
cranky
people
old
on
dudes
there who come out who have it against him and his book is shit and all that sort of stuff. Well, where's your one?
Yeah,
right.
That is the best response.
Yeah, they're
to
all
have.
talk.
Yep.
So.
Oh well.
Yep. There's errors in there, I'm sure. But, it doesn't become the industry standard text if all of it's complete baloney.
Right.
So it's just, rubbish. Anyway, there's people like that in every crowd.
Of course.
But back it up, guys. Come on.
What do you mean back it up? Like, back up your
Don't
claims?
just,
like, you show a page
your
number?
Claims.
And...
Actually write a paper and, post it and show what's wrong. And actually, Howard, in his book... at the start of the book, actually says there will no doubt be errors in this book, and the first person to quote to find a particular error and tell me about it, so I can fix it, will get a signed certificate of appreciation that they've found a bug. So come on,
nice,
do it.
Wasn't there a programming book like that as well, where the author kept saying if you find a bug and you write to me about it and it's a legitimate bug, I'll give you like a certificate.
Yeah, and you got like a special dollar note
that's
or
what
something.
It was. That's
right.
right.
I can't remember who it was.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up now.
We've mentioned that on here way back, like a year ago.
Was it?
I'm sure.
Man.
Yeah, probably. And I can't remember. I'm sure our audience will know.
Yeah, I'm sure too. Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool, and apparently they're highly sought after.
The Don Knuth reward check. That's what it is.
Ah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
The art of computer programming. Yep.
One Knuth.
Yes. That's a great idea, though. I think that's a good way to bring your constituents in, and
yeah, it's fantastic.
256 cents corresponds to one hexadecimal dollar.
Brilliant. Oh boy, I love
That's awesome.
Do we have any shout outs this week?
No. Me? I don't know. I got my ham. Were we done talking about that? I don't know.
No,
man.
we weren't. No, we got sidetracked as usual.
Yeah.
What is your call sign?
My call sign is KD8RND. And
awesome.
As was pointed out to me on Twitter this week, it's kind of a cool call sign because it's R&D.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I agree. But that was random, was it? That was just randomly.
Yes, it was totally random. Okay. I had nothing to do with it. Then, so it was lucky, I guess. Oh well.
So KD is your state?
Yeah,
that's how it works?
No, the 8 is actually the area of the country.
Area.
KD
right.
refers to the license class, I believe.
Right. So the area can include multiple states, can it?
Yeah, I think so. I think 9 was California or something like that.
Right. And can you get a different area in the same state?
I don't know.
Have they actually got the boundaries like as in
No.
like a longitude or something?
No.
Or-
You can actually,
No, it
and you
is
can get
state-based.
like a vanity call sign. That's what Jeff did actually. So
Yep.
he got like W6 ohm.
Yep.
So he's not in 6. I don't think.
Oh, okay. So
So
he
you-
wasn't in that area, but he could still get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's like vanity plates too. You know, you got to pay more or whatever. But I don't know. I'm more focusing on excuse me, actually using a radio at some point. We'll see if that.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see if that happens first. And
Now,
I'll
is
report back.
your call sign going on your business card?
No. Oh no.
No?
Have you seen that before?
I probably once or twice, but I just think it'd be a cool idea.
I think it
Why
goes
not?
on my resume. I think.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
That's. I'll have to see.
Do your new company allow you to put things like that on your business card, or is it really strict and you're not allowed to put anything? You know, it's just
I don't know.
Gamble. That's
I
it.
just put my cards, like my request in the other day. So I put my mobile number on it. So I don't know if
Right.
they at least let me do that. So, which I think
Okay.
is a very good thing to do too. If people don't do that out there, you know, it's not that big. If you're handing out a card to someone, just give them your mobile number because it's a nice thing to do. I don't know.
I've got my mobile number on mine. No one's
Yeah.
ever called me.
Right, exactly. They
you know,
never
yeah,
do, but
exactly,
if they
but
need
it's,
to,
you know.
right? I mean,
Yep.
Because I've had situations before where I try and look someone, especially like vendors and anything like that. You better have, you know, if you ever want
Right.
to see any of my dollars, you'd better have your mobile number on there. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good idea. So
Yeah, well, see, I'm not that fast because I don't call humans on the phone. You know, that's just so.
you don't ever
1980s,
really?
You know, I don't. I prefer to send emails.
Oh, man.
I'm not a phone talker.
I've gone the other direction. You know, like email is just such a shot in the dark sometimes. If you get someone's phone number,
Yeah,
like voicemail,
you've got them. They've got to respond. Right.
right, exactly.
right
and
there.
if you catch
Yeah.
them at the time, I mean, even if you just say, "Hey, I know this might not be the best time, but can we set up a time later?" I don't know. That's what I try and impress that on people when they're looking for jobs too, like engineers or even
Yeah.
non-engineers. You know, if you gotta get on the phone. I think. Now, granted,
Oh, there are circumstances where yes, you do, but as a general thing, I prefer to send an email rather than call someone.
I do too, just because it's convenient for people. But
Yep.
like, if I have something
Yeah.
I need to get done, or like if I'm trying to find if I'm trying to find like a chip vendor, right? I want to call them. I don't want to send an email because that is just way too easy to ignore, and I will not be ignored.
Right. No, yeah, I just don't like hassle, unless it's urgent, I really need something now, I'm not going to call them. I'm going to send an email. All right.
Yeah.
So it's just, depends on the importance.
I guess so. Yeah.
Whatever. Shall we talk about
We should.
a YouTube
thing.
A YouTube thing?
A sad YouTube I'm really sad about this.
Yeah, I was sad at first, but then once you realise why he did it, you actually, I feel quite happy for him. So,
All right, well, why don't you explain what it is so our listeners know?
His name is Andy. He's the photonic induction guy. Yeah, that's his channel name, Photonic Induction. And
if
he's
people
a
haven't
famous
seen it,
YouTuber.
yeah, he's the guy that he's from the UK. He's got a very distinct accent, and basically he blows stuff up with electricity. That's the easiest way to say it, I think.
Yep, that's pretty much it. And
Yeah.
lasers and stuff like that. And, he shines lasers into his camera and kills his pixels and all sorts of, weird and wonderful stuff. And he's big. I mean, he's got a much bigger channel than I do. He's got 20,000 or had 20,000 plus subscribers, 6 or 8 million views or something at least. I'm not sure exactly how many. I can't get the stats anymore because he's just upped and closed his account completely.
Closed up shop.
He just did it one day. And he removed, and when you do that, you remove all your videos. You can't get your channel back. He actually shut his partner channel down, so he will never get that back unless he works from scratch again. And it's it's just a really
all
major
gone.
thing to do.
Yeah,
it's all gone. Bang,
it's gone.
Poof.
Yeah, and that's probably 2 or 3 years worth of videos. I mean, he was on there for a
about
while.
2 or 3 years. Yeah. And he didn't tell anyone why. So there's a lot of speculation. Oh, the government came in and shut him down, and all for all sorts of things. So there was a lot of speculation, but he did actually come back, and he did a short video and left it only up for a couple of hours.
Right.
Did a short video, left it up there for a couple of hours explaining why, and then he pulled that down too.
Right. And then someone reposted it though, so we'll have that reposted video.
And he does now have another channel where the video is there of him explaining, stuff. So.
And so, what was your take on it? It was because of spending time. It was like he didn't want to deal with it anymore. I think that was it. Basically.
Well, I actually watched his 2 videos where he explained it, and from memory, please correct me if I'm wrong, but he originally started the channel where he just wanted to show his experiments to people who were knowledgeable in the same thing. He never wanted it to be a big channel, He just wanted to share his, wacky experiments with other knowledgeable people, not with beginners and stuff like that. But unfortunately, his videos went viral. Some got a couple of million views, and and then everyone started complaining, about the safety and everything else.
So dangerous. Oh, he's going to kill himself. It's like, no, he does this for a living.
You're a nutter. And,
yeah. Well, he is crazy, but in a good way.
in a good way. I actually, like the first time you watch him, you go, oh, this guy's crazy. But then you sort of warm to him, and he's quite funny, and his videos were quite good. Yeah. So, and so he just got sick of it all.
We should say maybe don't turn your speakers up at work. He does swear like a British sailor. So
right. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And he just got fed up with it. That was never his intention for the channel, was for it to be so popular and to get all the abuse about, safety and all that sort of stuff, because he does take safety seriously, but he never shows it rarely shows it on the in the videos.
Right.
So and apparently he does really know what he's doing, even though what he does can be construed as, reasonably dangerous.
I was figuring he probably did like high voltage design stuff. I mean, he definitely had the gear. Like he was digging through a trash bin of, he had like highly insulated, pieces of equipment.
Oh, so, he generates, hundreds of thousands of volts at, amps, and just dumps massive amounts of energy from capacitor banks. And he does this up in his attic.
He did it all off 240, he says.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Didn't have a big 3-phase supply or anything, but anyway, so he just got fed up with it all. He wasn't, he wasn't happy. It was sucking his life away, and I can certainly understand. And he wants to get married.
Don't
and he
go
wants
away,
to,
Dave.
Not yet. I still enjoy it. It's okay.
All right. So one day you'll just go around the bend.
One day I might get jack of it too. And
yeah,
and seriously, unless you're a YouTube, unless you're a content generator, a content producer like him, you don't. It's very hard for you to understand the pressure.
Yeah.
That and I can certainly understand it. Because I get the abuse, I get the hate mail, I get the death threats, I get
threats?
Everything.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to send you that email. I meant to just let that sit in my outbox.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of nutters out there.
Yeah.
So while I agree with him, stop him. And he feels you can see the relief on his face, hear it in his voice that it's now all over, and he can get on with his life and not have to worry about this shit anymore, as he says.
Yep.
And so good luck to him.
Definitely.
Andy,
Definitely.
If he's listening, I doubt it, because he's now has a life. So it doesn't want to spend
our listeners have
anymore.
a life, Dave. Come on.
Yeah, I know. And he spent, all the hours producing the videos, and people just wanted more and more and more. And the pressure for him to produce more and more and more was, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And there were people who were ripping off his ideas and capitalising on them, and he got fed up with all that.
Yep.
So anyway, it's a shame, but I fully support him. I think he did it the wrong way, though. I think he should have kept the channel open. Sure, take down your videos, because he didn't want them. They were a safety issue, he thought. So that's why he took them all down. He might put them back in the future with extra safety info, but he's not sure. But yeah, why would you work up to get a partner channel like that? I mean, most YouTube video bloggers would be envious to have a channel with 20,000 subs and millions of views and partner
status. We really
status.
crossed Dave's threshold of YouTube and electronics and like dovetailed perfectly. Dave has lots of opinions on this.
Oh, yes, I do. Anyway, I think he should have kept his channel because now somebody can hijack it.
Yeah.
And, it's just, it doesn't leave you with any options. Anyway.
Well, speaking of videos.
No, sorry. I haven't finished.
Oh, my God.
And then, come on, I've got to tell the whole story.
Okay.
And then and then there were so many people re-uploading his videos that he had to come back on his second new channel and actually plead for people, please respect my copyright, do not upload my videos. And there's been some debate on the EEV blog forum about this, and I can't believe that some people actually don't support his right to actually do that. And I think that's bullshit. As a content producer, you have the right, you should be afforded the respect as a content producer to take down your videos and not have people re-upload them.
I don't know, man. That doesn't work. It seems like that argument never works anywhere, right? Because it's you put this out in the world.
It's a respect thing, though, right? Okay.
Well, because then people start saying, well, what if you design an electronics instrument that saved thousands of lives, and then you said, oh, no one can make this anymore, right? Someone's going to eventually come up with that argument.
No, let's not get off track, right?
Okay.
No, let's talk about the specific case, okay? Because I think it's important. I think it's a big topic, okay?
Well, for YouTube people.
Just for anything, right?
Okay.
Right? Electronics content or video, technical content production like this, it is unrealistic to expect people not to pirate your stuff, right? But as a content producer, you should have the right you should be afforded the respect, especially from your fans, of them not re-uploading your material. If you come out and say, look, I would, please respect my opinion. I produce this stuff. Please don't upload it. I may do so in the future, but, please respect that. And for you not to, after hearing that, to go, oh, I think you're full of shit, I'm going to do it anyway. I think that is I think that is terrible. And sure, if he just closed his account and you never heard from him again, you could argue it's fair game that you can upload his material again because he doesn't care. He's abandoned it, right? But when he's come out and actually said, no, I still care about this content and I don't want it uploaded, please. He's being, he's not going to sue anyone. He's just asking politely. And for people to not respect that, I think is terrible. So, anyway. And the only people who understand it are the content producers, I can guarantee you.
So all four of you out there who are listening right now.
That's right.
Who haven't shut off your show, Dave is on your side.
Come on, you don't agree?
I totally agree, but I just, this has gone like 10 minutes. Anyways, I'm sad to see him go. Let's talk about one of your actual videos. How about that? How's your MakerBot going?
Jeez, as if you... I thought I was talking too much about...
No, I said, how's the MakerBot going? How's your... You started building one, right?
No, I haven't started building it yet. I unboxed it. You saw the video.
Oh, I figured you might have built it too. It's just delayed.
Nah, God, as if I've got time to build it.
Oh, well. Okay, so we'll check back in to see if you've ever built it.
I'm trying to solicit help in building. So,
gotcha. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, speaking of the building of them, so that's that's the guy I met at that at the FabLab today. I met Rick of MakerGear, which is actually
Can we call it something else? I don't like that name. It's so confusing with a chip fab.
FabLab.
Is it actually called a FabLab, or is that just your nickname for it?
Type in FabLab into Google. I guarantee it'll come up with the MIT thing, and it's based on the book.
It's confusing. Okay, I guess I'll just have to get used to it.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, do tell.
Yeah. So Rick from MakerGear, though, he's that's like another. They actually started because they started building extruders that would work. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Surely the MakerBot ones work now, right? Or have I got a dud?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I hope you didn't get it done.
Right. Well, it's Mark 7, isn't it? It's like the 7th revision. You think they would have got it, it'd be reasonably refined by now.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That's much cheaper than the MakerBot.
Yeah, it was like $800 versus
significantly
$1,200
cheaper.
So, yeah,
Once again, there's been some
down.
talk about that in the comments and on the forum about how expensive the MakerBot is, and it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why. I don't know what their bill of materials cost is, but my guess is that they've just kept building this thing and refine it and gilding the lily until it works, and they haven't really taken a step back and go, right, we need to engineer this for cost now. Yeah. And, I think that's what they need to do, otherwise they could find themselves in trouble.
Right.
Because literally overnight, if somebody from China comes along with a one that works pretty well and it's open and hackable and has good software that works, then MakerBot's Gonski. And so is everyone else, so is the RepRap and everyone else, It's just going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. Is it going to be next week, next month, next year?
Yeah,
it's certainly not 5 years down the track. I sense it's very close.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the like people have questioned us talking about 3D printing on here because we're not like a 3D printing show, we're an electronics show. But as an example, I mean, I've been doing 3D printing at work just because I'm expected to do packaging and electronics now. I think it's a very realistic thing that people will be doing packaging in the near future, because if it doesn't need to look super pretty and you could print it on your desk, I mean, it wouldn't be a volume situation, but you could at least prototype.
Do protos, yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I've been doing.
So do you have an in-house 3D printer?
Not yet. I am trying. Right. I am trying so hard to get one.
But it's only about $10,000 for a really good commercial one, isn't it?
Yeah, about 15 grand with everything.
15,
yeah.
Right?
And then like the cost, it's like $5 per cubic inch, which I didn't do the convert. I ended up converting I actually was doing cubic centimeters.
Why? Have they got gold-plated ABS plastic? Do they?
Well, cubic inch is, I don't know.
A cubic inch ain't much. I mean, how much? It's only about $20 for a kilo of ABS plastic on a spool, isn't it?
Yeah, but see, the problem with that is the expensive models that you get from actual vendors. It's
actual
all like
vendors.
that came out wrong. From large scale commercial systems. How about that? They're like, it's the HP model, like for printers.
From the big boys, right?
Yeah, so you got to buy the cartridges and everything. Ugh, it sucks.
Right. No,
but you get the coolness from it. Basically, it's a powder and it does all this crazy stuff. But yeah, I think it is relevant for electronics personally because, I mean, I think everyone's going to be doing it eventually just because of the continued expectation that engineers are everything engineers. So
yeah. I agree. And I said it before and I'll say it again. I think 3D printer kits are gone.
Oh, yeah.
They will be gone shortly. It'll be at a price where it's just not economical to actually make it yourself.
Yeah, and in talking to Rick today, he said, that's the trend they're seeing too, because he said, I spend 90% of my time helping people that shouldn't be building kits, basically, and 10% on the ones who are good at it and need to and should be able to, do the work. And so they spend so much time supporting that it becomes a very big hassle. And hassle is the wrong word, but a very big cost. How about that?
Yep.
Yeah. So whatever.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
MakerBot. So I'm looking forward to actually having it built. Not looking forward to building it because it's probably going to take a day or two. Oh, man. Yeah. It's like, if I had tons of free time,
that's if you get it right.
I'd love it, But I don't, so unfortunately.
Yep.
Hopefully I can get someone to help me.
Yeah. How's your power supply going?
It's going all right. I still haven't received my PCBs from IT Studios. It's ridiculous. I give up. Anyway, I'm doing a new version, so I'm going to get the board made by a company in New Zealand.
Really?
I actually forget their name. I tweeted it the other day.
Playing nice with the Kiwis, huh, Dave?
Having a mental block. Anyway, they offered to make a board for me for free so I could try them out. And,
cool.
So I'm going to do that. And
Nice.
their prices are pretty reasonable. I think it's like $90 or something for like a double-sided proto board, but you get it in like 3 or 4 days. It's fairly quick turn.
That's good.
So yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a nice
good.
that'll be a nice thing too, like kind of moving stuff local again too, just to not have to wait for or pay for the shipping. Either you pay for the shipping or
That's
wait
a
for the
big
shipping,
deal.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
shipping can be a problem. But also, it's just I want this kit to be as local as possible. So I'm going to try and get the PCB manufactured in Australia or New Zealand. That's good enough, It's
Yeah.
same as Australian. Yeah, just anywhere but China. So I'm trying to...
Well, that's good, man. That's good.
It's like my current kit, the box is made in Australia. It's assembled here. It's tested here. It's
How are you finding? I mean, are you really struggling to find those locals to provide? And why are you doing that? Is that just a general principle?
I want to make a statement. Yeah, it's a general principle. I just don't, want to go down the China route and have it as cheap as possible. And if nobody buys it because it's too expensive, who cares, right? I don't care. I'm not in it to make some, multi-million-dollar business selling freaking kits,
Yeah.
If it was, I'd outsource the whole damn thing to China and I'd get it produced for the lowest possible cost at the lowest possible quality and just drop ship them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. So, so I'm making a statement that
Did you
I'm trying to do as much here as possible.
I know you don't really listen to NPR because it's a American thing, but there was actually a podcast on This American Life, which is a NPR show. But it was actually about a guy that went to the iPhone factory at Foxconn.
At Foxconn, yep.
Yeah, it was great. It was like a whole hour show about it. It was very, very in depth, and if people are interested in that kind of thing, it's just if you're interested in producing locally, like Dave said, or even just wherever you are, it's an interesting thing. I think it might become a bigger deal. I mean, like people really kind of try and push that out of their mind when they're playing with their iPad or whatever. But
yeah.
I could see it, especially as more manufacturing comes back to the States, at least. I mean, I'm not sure about Australia, but I think there's some manufacturing come back to the States at least. So
no, there definitely is. I mentioned that before, and there's some. Well, there's always been some here. It's hard to say it's coming back like it is in the US. But it's certainly not dropping here, so that's good.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, kind of stemming the tide. And
we are clinging on. I think we've got one company here who still manufactures bare PCBs. So, I should actually support them.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a limit on cost, though, too. I mean, like, you can't just stop being an engineer and be like, oh, well, I'll pay $1,000 for a single PCB. Like, at some point, you have to benefit.
Exactly.
You have to balance that. Cost benefit, right?
But if it's 50%, 30% more, or 50% more, you might be able to wear that, right? If it's 50% more than China, you might be able to actually absorb that cost into your kit or your product or something like that.
Right, right.
Yeah. No, I think it's important. So I'm going to do as much as I can to actually do that because the kit's already expensive. I mean, it's much more expensive. Oh, I won't tell you what the BOM cost is, but it's getting up there, let me tell you. You can find out yourself. Go look up each part on DigiKey.
Oh, I'll definitely do that.
Exactly. That's why I don't want to tell you, because that's where all the hard engineering is. I'm not going to give away that information.
That answer's mine. You can't have it.
Open my ass.
Yeah, right.
Open source hardware, my ass.
Yikes.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of open source hardware, actually, who was I talking to about this? Oh, I was talking to Ian, one of my friends, about this. Apparently, Open Cores. Have you ever been on Open Cores website before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's kind of shaky on quality. Like, it's like, there's some stuff on there. But basically, they actually are working on an open RISC being, reduced instruction set computer, right? CPU.
Nice 80s term. Yep.
Yeah, right. And I knew it.
Not bad for an analog guy.
I know, right? But yeah, they're actually working on an entire, I guess it would be code. It's an entire design, but it is all in code to be able to have a completely open CPU. And so I was talking to him about it, and I'm like, well...
So it's in high level VHDL or Verilog or something.
Yeah, I think
right?
Verilog, I think.
So it's a soft processor.
it's a soft processor, but then there's also talk about trying to get it pushed to like an older fab basically. So like
Right,
180
okay.
nanometer,
Yep.
360 or something like that. So definitely not top of the line. And so that was confusing to me. Obviously it would be expensive because, you'd be going and actually fabricating it in this case. And so I was talking to him and I'm like, well, why the heck would someone want to do this? And he started telling me about the current way it works, and I guess I really didn't realize this, is that with high-level processors and a lot of the SoCs that are out there now, or systems on chips, they actually don't give you full register maps. And unless you sign an NDA, and even then sometimes, you if you have it, you can't tell anyone else about it. So if basically there's no way to access all parts of a processor. Right. And I didn't realize that. I always thought that,
I always assumed, I haven't been really deep down at that level for a long time, but I just assumed that was still the case.
You were still the case, you said? So it's always been like that?
I assumed it was still the case that you could,
still
actually get that info.
Okay,
Yes.
so still get that info. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like back in the day, everybody had access to all registers because there was what, like 100 maybe,
Yeah, exactly. But now there's,
now there's literally
thousands of them.
Millions, I think even. I mean, like, and
possibly,
and you can access parts of the chip that you're not supposed to, quote unquote, right? And so that's kind of the drive behind this is that, it's to have a processor that people can actually use, and you could write a Linux distribution then that targets that processor, and there's actually like a pretty legitimate case for it, I think. And I was convinced. I wasn't convinced at first, but he convinced me.
Well, it depends on how much advantage you get from actually doing that, from accessing that, as opposed to using it at a more top level.
Yeah, that's true.
Thing,
But apparently the trend is it's getting worse to the point where you're not allowed to see anything. And even if you do sign an NDA, then you still can't see certain things.
And who are we talking about here? Are we talking about the Intels,
Yeah, I think the Intels, the
AMDs,
Qualcomms, I think Qualcomm, like a
Qualcomm,
the big processors, the things that are going into commercial level products and stuff like that.
Right.
Because that's their competitive advantage, right? I mean, TSMC can make all this stuff, right? I mean, that you can make this at any foundry. So if you can make it anywhere, and maybe you can even start to reverse engineer certain functionalities, well, then you're going to really. The Intels and the Qualcomms are going to guard that stuff like with their life. So,
I still don't understand why, because they sell chips, right? Why wouldn't you want people to know the information so that they can use your chips and buy them?
Well, it's a closed ecosystem then, right? I mean, like say. Then not only do they have to buy your chips, they also have to buy your development boards. They also have to buy your programmers, everything. Yada. And granted, a lot of that stuff's probably going to happen anyways,
but
right?
The money's in the chips.
Maybe. I don't know.
No chip company makes money out of dev boards and stuff. It's in the royalties, or it's in the the chips themselves. That's what they want to flog. That's what they ultimately flog. That's their currency.
Maybe. I whatever the reason is, I don't know. But I was listening to this argument, and I'm sold on the idea. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but in practice, who's going to actually take the risk? No pun intended. Hey, of using one of these open core, CPUs, and like I assume, is it compatible with like any ARM or anything? No, it wouldn't be. You get sued.
It'd be open
out
with
of existence, right?
I mean, the instruction set would be the same, right? But I mean,
I don't know. But then where do you get your compiler from? How many people have used it? How many bugs has it got? When are the bugs going to be ironed out? You're taking a lot of risk by not choosing a proven industry, industry device. That's it's a chicken and egg thing.
Of course it is, yeah. But if people are interested, there is a donation page at opencores.org. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think there was an interesting case about it too. There was a Cory Doctorow talk. I didn't had a chance to watch all of it, but I watched part of it actually at that Chaos Communication Camp, the one that Jeff went to.
Yep.
He gave this really great talk, and it's called about lockdown. It's basically the same thing. How there is a closing off in a lot of the ecosystems. So it's almost like a necessity. Ecosystems.
Thank you.
Sorry, David. Where was I even going with that? Watch the talk. That's the end of that. Right. I'm done now. You've.
All right. Softcore processors, yeah, I don't know.
They're not necessarily softcore, but
right, yeah, but still,
they're hardcore.
You know, but that's the whole idea of open cores is that everything is soft.
Yes, that is. I think in the general case, yes. So you can go grab stuff and pull it out and use it in your product or design.
I mean, you know, Altium had the same issue with their Taskin processor. You know, their TSK 3000 processor, which was the soft core that they used in all of their you know, all of their stuff. So, which is the one they promoted that you use. Well, you know, very few people really took it up because it was a big risk, you know, to go with that processor as opposed to a more popular mainstream one.
Yeah.
So,
although there's always risk with that too. And I've gone through that calculation before. I've used the Altera one. I've used the Xilinx one. But yeah, they're not without their bugs either.
No, exactly. Yeah. But at least, you know, you
can update
at least,
it.
You know, there's 10,000 other people trying to get that same bug fixed. So you have a lot of support there. So
yeah.
No. As opposed to, you know, I'm the only guy who's found this bug. Well, is the company going to fix it for me? Yeah, good luck, you know.
Yeah, hope you enjoy debugging Verilog.
or developing workarounds, you know.
Right, yep.
Usually there's a workaround. Usually that, you know, it's not going to be a showstopper. You know, true showstoppers are not that common. So
yeah,
you usually can figure it out. Yeah, but it takes you time, and it just sucks away your development time out of your development cycle, and not good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of chips, there's a video on YouTube. It's pretty great. It's this guy that snuck all these wafers out of the fabs he worked in, which people don't know. I mean, they very much discourage that. I'm not sure what fab this guy worked in, but I don't think he left on good terms.
Right.
But it's really interesting because he actually
Where
shows.
is this?
It's 40 on our list, but it's actually. It's great because he's a failure analysis engineer, and I was trying to think, are any of my friends that I knew back at Samsung? I don't think it's any of them, but basically he actually shows even some of the cutaway pictures too, and if people have never seen those before, it's very interesting to see. You know, you have to kind of wrap your head around going from like a 2D top-down view to a side view. The side view, I think, is a lot more valuable. But first, you're just like looking at it and like, what the heck am I looking at?
I know. I'm watching it now. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and so and you can see defects too. It's very interesting just to see. It's another side of how chips are made, and usually the side that chip makers don't want you to see. You know, they don't want. Oh, of course we don't have defects. Well, yeah, everybody has defects. You know, someone somewhere has sneezed, and that. Your tiny, minuscule booger has gotten on a wafer somewhere. Oh, man.
Oh, boy. I wish. And he says in the video, and I worked as a process engineer at a wafer fab for over 5.5 years, and eventually the 14-plus hour workdays got to me, and I left the job.
Yeah, and that's true. You know, process life is not easy. It is not easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely worth looking at. I found the video on Reddit a couple weeks ago, days ago, I don't know even, but it was great.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, how's your quadcopter going? No,
same as the MakerBot. Dude.
Oh man, what are you doing all day? Jeez, Dave, get a job, hippie.
Hey, I know, get a real job.
Yeah.
You know, I'm making videos, doing stuff.
Yeah,
having a life.
Yeah, well, that's good too.
You know,
that's good.
You know.
There was
the whole idea was going full time was so that I could have a life again, you know, rather than work my ass off and then work my ass off on the blog as well. I mean,
well, let's modify that first one, Dave. Come on, work your ass off at work.
Off at work. Well, you know.
I remember.
Well, you got to turn
when
up,
I used to talk to Dave. You know, we used to do the show, and it's obviously the morning for Dave there, and it's the evening here, and he'd be like, "All right, well, talk to you next week." And Dave would be like, "Oh, it's burger day. I'm gonna spend an hour and a half in the cafeteria." Oh man, it was funny. It's burger day.
I'm glad you found that humorous.
It was. It was just. It was always. Boy. It was. Was it Fridays was burger day?
Yeah, Friday
and
was
you guys
burger
got
day.
free food too. I don't know why you complained about that.
We got free food. Yeah, they've taken that away now. Yep.
Well, I just know the company.
Oh, no.
Anyways, the reason I asked about quadcopters is at CES, which CES, who cares? But there was an interesting thing about
You wanted to go, admit it. You wanted to trip
I'd
to Vegas.
definitely go. I mean, it'd be cool just for the parties. I mean, you get to meet some cool people. You get to meet a lot of people, but I mean, there would be some cool people there to meet. But yeah, quadcopters, the Parrot AR drone. I don't know if people follow quadcopters at all, but that, like talk about kits versus assembled stuff.
Yep.
It's $300 now. It's fully assembled, I think. I might be wrong about that, but it's got
it is fully assembled. Yeah, I think I've done my money on the Arducopter.
Oh yeah. And it's built-in
But the
camera.
Arducopter's open source, though. I'm not sure
that's
if
true. Yeah.
Right, and that's what we want to do. The reason we got open source is so that we can develop our own algorithms for the autonomous flying and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
that was, a huge decider in going with the Arducopter.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's open source or not, but
It's just a toy that you use with your iPhone.
it's got a
you control it
720p
with your
camera
iPhone.
now. I mean, it's a legitimate. I think it's going to have some legitimate effects.
Oh,
on
yeah.
it. I mean, if you can
for
buy
sure.
a flying camera at 720p for $300, that's
I
pretty
know.
cool.
And control it with your iPhone. Yeah, you'll have dozens of these things buzzing through Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly, right. I mean,
Yeah.
that could definitely affect people's lives, and in the best case, it hopefully people start to dig down in the electronics. I don't know, like.
Well, but now they're saying it'll make a huge difference to all this citizen reporting and stuff like that and social media. So, if there's, some big, rally going on or something, if there's an Occupy movement rally, everyone will have all these cameras buzzing around in the air actually recording all this stuff. And the government hate it. They will crack down on this shit, let me tell you, especially the US government. They'll go nuts over this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
All it'll take is one incident, and they will, there'll be a law being passed through Congress to, somehow ban this sort of shit.
Yeah, I hope not, but for now, it's a cool looking toy.
Oh, yeah, buy one now while you still can.
Yeah, right? Yeah, hide it.
Yeah. Before you need a license to
Yeah. Oh, boy.
go and get it and fingerprint it and everything before you actually can buy one.
Oh, yeah.
That's, it just opens up so many, surveillance possibilities. I mean, the US military have only gotten all this autonomous stuff going in the, fairly
past
recently.
10 years probably.
Yeah, exactly. And now you can buy it for $300 and control it with your iPhone.
Yeah.
And you can, hover over the White House and, land on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
Which I totally encourage. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you heard it here first. By the way, this is our last broadcast, and it's been great, people. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Dave's rabble
See
rousing
if those
from across
missiles
the
work,
pond.
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Let
great.
them see if they can hit a little 30-centimeter wide target.
Yep.
Make for a great YouTube video. It'd go viral.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
It'd be awesome. Go for it.
Blow up a quadcopter.
Just make sure you have a second one filming it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
What else should we talk about? Oh, there's tons of stuff on here. This is what I was talking about, Dave. We got too much stuff on this list. Too much stuff.
That's our problem.
Yep.
What can we do? Alan, my mate Alan Garfield.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
He listens. He helped me set up my new dedicated server.
Yeah.
Linux Penguin. He speaks Penguin fluently, and so thanks for that. Anyway, he's been having a bitch about IDEs.
IDEs.
And,
yeah.
Yes, I believe he was trying to set up the microchip, the new MP Lab X or something, and he's bitching that there's no command line tools. So, yes.
Yeah, I was never a big... Yeah, they kind of pushed the IDE thing, and I was never big... I always use them, but I know a lot of people like writing their own scripts, and if you really want to automate stuff, you need those command line tools, because otherwise...
But when you talk about a lot of people, you're talking about the minority.
You think so?
That's the thing. Yes, absolutely.
But then third-party tools,
they've had
too.
IDEs for they've been pushing IDEs for 15, 20 years now. I mean, command line tools were dead 15 years, not dead, but they were, they were the least popular, 15 years ago, let alone now.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of competitive advantage too, because if you're a chip maker and you have command line tools, then a third party company can come in. Like I think about it for like FPGA vendors, right? Because obviously I do FPGAs more than I ever do microprocessors. If you have a third party or a command line tool rather, then a company like Simplicity can come in and they cross compile against all the different chips, and basically they are another player in the system. I don't know if that's actually what the chip makers want, but basically the end result is sell more chips, right? If your chip is better then versus your IDE being better, then you win.
But the thing is, I thought those command line tools have always been there. The IDEs call up invisibly the command line tools. And I'm sure MPLab worked in that way. I'm not sure about the new MPLab X because I've barely touched it. But I'm sure the old MPLab worked that way. It would actually call up the command. I'm sure you would put in the path. But when you install the IDE, it automatically installs all the paths and puts the options for all the command line tools. But if you want to, they're there. So I don't. I'm not sure if he's if there's just something option that he's missing or something. But anyway, I don't know. But I was under the impression that they were still there and accessible if you really, really wanted to. So.
Yeah, I might have to be doing some programming soon too. I don't know. I hope not, but I have a new project. I don't know if did I tell you about this? I don't know if I told you about this.
No,
maybe
probably
I did.
not.
So that open source SMU that we talked about in here?
Oh yes, you did tell me about this.
So the CEE. Okay. I'm going to be making videos for that. SMU. Source
measurement unit.
Yes, source measurement unit.
Yeah, it's a power supply that you can control.
Yeah, basically. So I got one on my bench right now, and it is fun. Let me tell you, I'm like tracing curves with it. I mean, I'm not like pushing the product necessarily, but I really am excited by the fact that like it very easily. I don't know how you are with like transistor curves, but that probably took me a solid 2 years to really get. I don't know, like just beat my head against the wall. Like, why am I looking at these? And now, like, I get it now. I mean, obviously I got it before, but but I think I would have gotten a lot faster with this thing. And so that's actually the videos I'm making is talking about, I'm going to throw like a NPN on there and a JFET and a MOSFET and lots of different things. So I'm really excited about it.
So you're using it as a curve tracer, basically.
Yeah, there's a couple things you can do with it, but yeah, I'm using it as a curve tracer, and you can use it for other things. It's low res, but it's cool. I'm very excited about it. I don't know if that sounded too much like a product plug, but it's I'm doing a pro bono.
What's the maximum output voltage? Because that determines how useful a curve tracer is, especially when you're talking about component stuff. If it's only 0 to 5 volts, then that's not.
Yeah, it is
massively right. Okay, so that's not massively useful for transistor character or MOSFET characterization.
Yeah, exactly. You can do NPNs pretty easy, but you start getting up into power FETs, not gonna work. So yeah, I've already fed that back to them, and yeah, we'll see if they come up with a 10 volt or a 20 volt version, but.
2030 would be a nice usable, sort of output range.
Did you ever use the old tech curve tracers?
I've used curve tracers back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
People hold on to those like they're gold. Was it a 585 or something like that? Is that the?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the exact.
And
number,
they're so clunky looking and like awkward, but they work. You need to trace a curve of a transistor and look at it on a tiny little CRT screen.
You're in heaven with one of those babies.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
I love it.
It is useful, I think. So, especially if you're doing like audio stuff or.
Yeah.
Output stage design. Yeah, that stuff's awesome.
But, devices these days are fully characterized in the data sheets, and you just buy them and they're guaranteed to perform like that. I mean, there is limited utility to
Yeah, that's true.
curve tracing these days, as opposed to back in the 70s. You would salvage parts from from old junk equipment. You had to characterize them because you had no idea, and the spread was so wide, the manufacturing spread. And
yeah, that's true.
And now it's like, for 2 cents you can buy a transistor that's fully characterized.
Right, that's true. Well, the things I always found with it is troubleshooting. So I would pull stuff off a board and then trace a curve, and that actually is very useful. I found a problem once where I was the threshold voltage it spread probably 2 volts. Right. And they're allowed to. That's actually what the spec was, but it was out of spec.
Right. Well, hey, you weren't designed. Somebody didn't design around the full spec, right?
Right. Yeah.
They were actually relying on it being tighter. Is that the?
Yeah.
Which is okay until you get caught with your pants down, and then yep.
No, it wasn't
you feel
me.
like an idiot. Right, yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So it was your design, was it?
No, it wasn't me. I was fixing it. I wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you are pulling off parts that you don't know what they are too, like if you're working with old electronics that you like, when I fixed my piano, I pulled off a transistor. I had no clue what the marking was. Looked it up online, and man, that is frustrating when you have like a very distinct marking on something and you just type it in Google and you're like, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
It was just made by like some Russian fab in the in the 60s or something like that. It's like, oh well. I guess I'll just try some stuff out. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Can we have a wonky shonky product of the week?
Yeah.
Because I added one. I know we had a couple on here before, but
yeah,
I got quite excited by this one when I found it the other day.
Oh, no. Okay. Go ahead.
And it's the Hojo motor.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah, hojomotor.com, and there's this video there, and it is ClickBank sort of video marketing 101 to buy their electronic. I don't even know how to shut this thing up. It's like a flash video player. Hang on, it's too
loud. I went there, and then I tried to close it, and it says, "Before you go, click the cancel button right now to stay on the page." Leave this page.
God.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyway, you've got to see it. And it's a perpetual motion motor, magnet-based motor. And I love how they actually say it's actually perpetual motion. They actually use the term. Most scammers like this have actually avoid those terms, in big writing up the top. This is not perpetual motion, this is, and then they insert
this is continuous
some
motion.
new physics thing.
Yeah,
that's right, because they don't want to be associated with the previous scams that have been revealed.
Right.
But this one's just blatant, and and I love the other aspect. I love is that they. The guy who originally developed this, he got 3 US patents, and in the video, in the big, booming, professional American voiceover voice, says something along the lines of, it wouldn't work. The US Patent Office does not grant patents to things that do not work, and this man has 3 of them, so it must work,
Yeah.
And I almost wet my pants. I really did. And it was $200, but now you better act today because our website will get taken down because the big oil companies, energy companies will shut us down. They've shut us down before and they'll do it again. We can only guarantee the website will be open for the next 24 hours.
I can guarantee it'll be there in perpetuity and you won't be able to get rid of it if you wanted to,
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Oh, it's just, It's just, and the prices now dropped down. Oh, they've discounted it again for $39.97. Oh, boy. And 100% money back guarantee, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, the Hojo motor. Yeah. Anyway, go check it. It's freaking hilarious. Yep. Hojo motor. Yep. Oh, boy.
We actually had someone write in actually about an op amp that they wanted to be chipped.
They physically wrote in, did they? You actually got a letter and you...
Yeah, I got a letter, because I publicize my home address.
Right.
But yeah,
I've got a PO box, folks. It's on my website. If you want to send me any old-fashioned snail mail, go for it.
Maybe I should post mine as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to send us shit, I will happily
Yeah.
take it. And then if it's shit, we'll toss it down in the bin.
Yeah.
But no, if it's something good, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it. Who knows?
Yeah. What's his name there? I think it's Clifford. Yes, Clifford Wolf wrote in about an op amp he wanted to highlight. And I've actually worked with op amps like this before, but
Is this a chip of the week?
Yeah, chip of the week. And he said, too, he was very excited about the chip of the week. And I think that is something that a lot of people like. So we'll try and
Oh, it's the
bring that back.
LMC 6042.
Yeah,
I know about that.
How old is that one? That's not that old, is
I
it?
don't know.
Yeah.
Rings a bell.
20 femtoamps, though. I don't know if that's typical, though. So that's always the thing with these small input bias current. You got to watch out if it's typical or max. If it's typical, I'd be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
it's typical.
and how does that change with temperature? Just, take a look at the thermal graphs as well, folks.
Yeah.
Don't,
Yeah.
And
it is a good one, though, because it's low power, so it's not sucking down current on the supply rails. It's only 10 microamps. But it's TI part.
And it's single supply.
It is.
It is. I'm telling you, it's single supply.
Oh, it is single. Okay.
And it's got rail-to-rail output as well.
I don't like single
And the input
supply,
common mode range includes ground. Nice.
Yeah, that's good. But I'm more of
I could add perfect for my new power supply kit.
You are using it for this or no?
No, it's overkill. But I'm just saying,
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say.
its input common mode range includes ground. That's what I need. I need my input common mode range to include ground. I need a single supply operation from, this one's 4.5 to 15. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got rail-to-rail output, so the output goes down to ground. Perfect.
All right.
So I could use it.
Yeah,
it's a direct drop in. You could drop it in if you want to pay
if you
5
needed-
times the price.
Yeah, right. If you needed 2 femtoamps or whatever the
Yeah, exactly.
the max spec is. Yeah, but that is one thing to watch is the max spec. But it's still a good part. And so if you're looking for, precision kind of low input bias currents, I always liked LMP 7721. That's actually 3 femtoamps max, which is
Right.
crazy. But that's.
What is the typical if the max is that?
I don't even know. I think it's what's below femto. I need my XKCD
Atto.
chart. Yeah,
Atto.
I think it is Atto in like a couple
Come
hundred.
on, you're the analog guy from bloody Keithley who specialises in
Used
this
to
shit.
be.
You don't know what's under femto?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a couple months.
In one ear, out the other.
Oh yeah, you have no idea. Like I said, I've been doing 3D models for the past couple
I do
weeks.
have an idea.
Yeah, right.
The amount of stuff I've forgotten more stuff than I've remembered. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you said this would be gilding the lily for your project? Did you?
It would be gilding the lily.
Yeah,
a
you have
tad.
something
It
else
would
on the
be
list
really
about
thick
that.
gold plating. Yeah.
Right.
Did I?
Yeah, I thought you had something else about gilding the lily with your.
Oh yeah, possibly from a couple of weeks back, which we never got onto.
Oh yeah. Up in the DAC to 12-bit. You said.
Yeah, to 12 bits, and it's like, well, the thing is that they make a pin. I'm using the microchip DAC and analog to digital converter, separate ones, and they make pin compatible 12 and 10-bit ones, which is
I
really
love.
nice.
I love it.
I know. So you can just, you can start it if you want to save some cost. You whack in the 10-bit one, but then you've designed your project so that if people want to pay, $1 more per chip, then they can bung in the 12-bit one.
And the
It's
crazy
great.
thing too
I love it.
is they're probably doing that with sorting and laser. What do they call that? Where they use lasers on it at the end after binning.
So you think it might be the same die?
Oh, I guarantee it's the same die.
Right.
I guarantee it. And I'm sure people out there that work in the chip industry would agree with me. Yeah,
Okay.
there is no reason to have a separate die. I mean, I don't think, because you basically what you do is you test for the 12-bit ones, and the ones that suck, you use the laser and you blow out a little bit of the metal on the top.
Yep.
And you blow. Oh, it's blowing a fuse basically. You blow a fuse on the top, and you have it.
You sell them as 10-bitters.
Yeah, exactly. So, guarantee it. Very common. And it's good, too, because, then you could save cost if you want to, and then you have compatible parts, which we like. So, yeah, I'm A-okay with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no problem with it at all.
All right.
So, yeah, I think it's good design. It's a good aspect of design to do stuff like that, so that if you can find pin-compatible parts,
Yep.
use them. So you
Yep.
can upgrade things, downgrade it, and, I could sell 2 versions of my kit. Here's an up spec, 12-bit one and 0.1% resistors, or I could sell a low spec one.
Oh,
so
could do error budgets to figure out which ones.
Yeah, but in the end, it's there's not much in it. The cost of it. People will say, "Oh, why have included my little microcurrent chip in the power supply?" Massively add into the cost and all that sort of stuff.
No.
Well, if you actually look at it, no, it's a very small part of the cost. The chip only costs $1, and there's a few resistors around it which cost cents, and compared to the cost of the kit, no, we're talking very insignificant.
Right.
So,
and then you have to also factor in margin too. So if people are, the little costs don't add up. But if you start adding boards or you start adding, features.
Well, the LCD's $8 and the box is $6, and
well, if you added like a second
else,
LCD,
and the heatsink is $5, and
if you added a second LCD or more knobs, that kind of stuff is big
use
stuff.
your design from a couple of weeks ago where everyone's using a freaking iPad, right? Yeah.
Some people agreed with me on that, Dave. I don't think you. Yeah, people agreed with me on that.
That's because people weren't understanding my.
No, you didn't understand me.
Viewpoint.
No,
I totally agree with you. I just said it would be not as popular as you thought. It'd be quite niche.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You thought it was the be-all, end-all. Hang on,
no,
there's somebody at the door. There's a package.
Really, you're going to answer the door? All right. Well, that's Dave going to pick up the UPS. So we'll see if he comes back. And if not, you could find us on Twitter at the Amp Hour if you want the feed. You could find me at Chris_Gamble. You could find Dave at EEVblog. We're on Google+. We're on Facebook. Man, we're on everything. And we always love seeing comments. So apparently Dave...
I'm back.
He's back. Oh, my God.
I'm back. Hang on. I'm putting my headphones on.
All right. So
I'm back. Sorry about
I just
that.
gave an outro there.
I thought the wife was home, and no. So I had to answer the door, and it's a package. Who's it from? It's from Hong Kong.
Dave's board showed up, maybe.
Maybe. No, it's too small for my boards. No, it says PCB.
All right. Well, I just wrapped up the show, Dave. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, I didn't wrap it up, but I told people where they could find us. So.
It's only an hour and 6 minutes.
Any last minutes? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Any last words now that our 123-minute or hour 23-minute episode set the new standard?
Right. Hang on. I'm going to look at my boards. Oh no! Yes, they are. Here you go. Ta-da! My power supply boards have turned up. Speak of the devil.
All right.
There you go. They eventually turned up, which is a shame because I've changed the design. So,
that's
but
nice.
they did.
All right.
And they look at first glance quite reasonable. These are the IT studio ones I've had issues with before, but yeah, don't quote me on that. But it looks not bad at all.
Throw them right in the trash.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
All right.
Catch you later.
See you guys next week.